Welcome to another edition of Strange New Pod. I'm your Fleet Admiral and host, Julian Brown, alongside the best bridge crew this side of a Gorn mothership about to get sideswiped by the Enterprise. We were going to have a full house tonight. Hawk had an emergency and can't make it tonight, but Vice Admiral Eric is here ready for some ramming speed. Praetor Giraffe is here wondering what the Romulans thought about all this, lurking on the sidelines. And Captain MC is here, not forever rolling her eyes at the Spock Chapel emotional break. Welcome back. How we doing?
Good. We're looking good. Like, we're like super like close.
Yeah.
That way they can see your emotions, Giraffe.
Yeah. But my problem is that, you know me, I'm like,
I know.
So
I know.
I like to move around a lot too. I just already moved out of frame once.
in the little box.
Dana asked about ramming speed and if they should get their batleth, to which I mean, batleths are always welcome. Yes. Batleths aplenty. And Ben and Jerry's. Oh, and Eric's got the ice cream.
I saw
back.
Michael Kwan asking, so I was like, yes, I did.
The ice cream is back. That's awesome. It is that amazing time of the year, 2 years in the making. This week, new Star Trek is finally back. We're here to review the premiere of Strange New World Season 3, Hegemony Part 2. Was Captain Pike and the crew of the Enterprise able to push back the Gorn? Did Captain Battel survive, or did she make her way for some Gorn hatchlings? And did anyone not make it back from the Gorn mothership? We break it all down. And if you're wondering about Wedding Bell Blues, the second episode of season 3, well, just come back to this space on Monday, because that's when we will be reviewing it. So patrons,
too much.
Well, it's not even that 2 episodes is too much, because it is, you're right. But also, these are 2 like completely different episodes. It would make no sense to review them together. So we'll give you a break. We'll review the serious action-packed episode, and then we will do Wedding Bell Blues on Monday. Patrons, we have a lot to get to. It is a Trek premiere night. We love you. We love your support. All of your new merch for the quarter just went out today, so that's awesome. I will say a very big thank you to our Badmirals, our EPs, who keep the transporter biofilters Gorn free. Simon Steger, Chris Waterman, Tara Poland, Brett Jones, Dana, Matt Harker, Jim McMahon, Maggie Light, and Fef. You guys are incredible. We love you. Thank you always for your support. We are going to do like 2 minutes of very quick news and then get into the episode. Giraffe, what's going on?
We're going to San Diego Comic-Con. Woo! Yeah! So, Julian and myself are going to be in my good city of San Diego next week to cover everything Star Trek. We have some cool stuff already lined up, and I will be in Hall H for the Star Trek Universe Battle on Saturday. Stay hooked to our social, to our blog. We'll keep posting with the help of the Canadian crew, who is on the back lines. We will be writing and posting while we run around the convention center. I expect some surprises. We've heard there may be some.
We've heard there might be some surprises. I don't know if we're supposed to say that, but we said it anyway.
Well, everybody's saying it, so.
Oh, okay. Then we're allowed to say it. We're allowed to say it.
But we don't know what the surprise is. We have some theories.
Nope.
My theory is the Academy trailer.
Followed by an episode.
Dude, if we got an episode too, Eric, don't do that to us. Dude, it's in the. I think it's in the can. It's pretty much done. Yeah.
Yeah, but the post is not done, I think.
They've been working on post for a long time.
Okay, an episode of the Academy. Let's go.
Let's just say it. Yeah.
Eric's willing it into existence.
I am. Just like MC's willing Star Trek. What did you call it? Oh my God.
5-year mission.
5-year mission. Yeah.
5-year mission.
God, how did I forget?
Those two things right there. By the way, if you want to know what we're talking, balloons. I love balloons. If you want to know what we're talking about with 5-year mission, we recently did an episode where we talked about how Akiva Goldsman, who is the co-showrunner of Stranger Worlds, wants to continue the show with Captain Kirk and basically redo TOS. And MC cleverly dubbed that show 5-year mission. So we are willing that into existence. Go watch that episode. It was really good.
This a small thing.
No. Yes.
I will be recording with the Jurassic Sister this weekend. I'm opening their new theme, which is the Romulan. So I don't know when that's going to be airing, but give them a listen.
You're recording a Romulan episode? Yeah, I wonder.
Well, it's or the Romulans or the Chase. I have only 2 gigs.
2 gigs. That's right.
That is all.
But you know what, Giraffe? You know what's really awesome? You can make them. You can make every single one of those gigs because you're a computer. You're AI.
I'm AI.
You're AI. So it's okay.
I'm coming for Hawk's job.
Totally coming for Hawk's job.
Secret is you are Hawk.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's the ticket. I wasn't gonna do this, but we just dropped a new shirt, which was conceptualized by me and designed by MC in like 20 minutes. So thank you, MC, for that. It's on the store now. It is our Captain Pike We Explore tee. strangenewpod.bigcartel.com. Unisex and women's sizes, as always. Go check that out. Did I miss anything? No, we're good. That's right. Let's hit it indeed. It is time. We haven't done one of these in a while for the Strange New Loop. So I'm making a hard one for you tonight. At least I think it's hard. If you could have sacrificed one member of the away team that got captured by the Gorn, who would it have been? And why? YouTube Collective, let us know as well. Eric's already raising his hand.
It had to be Ortegas, unfortunately, because she's the only one that's not like seen in TOS.
I don't mind if you like retcon. I don't care if you retcon. Yeah.
Also, yeah, I like Sam.
Sam needs to be murdered by Flying Pancake.
Exactly.
Does he though?
Yes.
Does he?
When they do the 5-year mission, when they do 5-year mission, I want to see it actually happen. That's what I want.
I want to see Kurt just wearing a mustache and pretending to be Sam. Because
oh my God.
This is what they did. You remember that, right? Yeah. Like, it's just Shatner with a mustache. So I'm like, yes.
Sorry, Sam.
Can I continue with what I said about Ortegas? please. Because when I saw the episode and she was bleeding out so much, I thought she was gonna die. Like,
I thought she was toast.
Not knowing the trailers, if they showed her, or I don't know. I assume they showed like everything from the first episode. It could have been. It felt like she was gonna die. So, yeah.
Yeah. No, good answer. Who else?
Well, I would say from a storytelling standpoint, if La'an had sacrificed herself to save everybody else, I think that they could have made that a complete storyline for her. I'm glad they didn't, but thematically they could have made it work.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I was thinking about that for sure.
I'm
Giraffe?
gonna say Ortegas also, and I mean, I don't think anybody should, or they should have had a red shirt with them. A random guy. I mean, the moment where she opened one of the pot and there's like that guy totally like
Just like
You know,
melted, face melted.
Were they not a
Melted?
red shirt? I thought they were.
I thought it was the guy that was with them in Hegemony 1 and like who got like dissolved, and I was like, here goes the red shirt. So my answer would be a red shirt because I don't want anybody else to die.
That's fair. That's fair. My answer, I have to go along with Jim McMahon in the chat. I want to see Sam at some point this season. Oh, well, that's true too. I'm reading the wrong comment, but I agree with this. I want to see Sam at some point this season meet his future wife. Yes, that should happen in Strange New Worlds. Jim also writes, Sam, it would be a better ending than his TOS ending, to which I say, yes. Retcon Sam's flying pancake, please. Sacrificing himself to the Gorn, like, would have been pretty epic. I don't know. My vote's for Sam.
Because Kirk needs to feel responsible for his death.
I want him to survive the flying pancake. I want it to turn out that
he actually
didn't
lived.
happen so that he can be in 5-year mission.
And it was actually just a doppelganger of Kirk wearing a mustache and not Sam.
Yeah.
I'm
A clone of Kirk with a mustache.
Oh my
I mean, would it be the
God.
first time?
Yes.
A mirror universe. His mustache.
Well, Jedi
There we
Cat
go,
writes,
solve
isn't
that.
Sam already married and Peter's a little kid? Yeah, I think he is already married at this point.
I would think so, yeah.
We just haven't met the family yet, I think is the case. Yeah. Good answers. Who do we have any others in the chat? I think Chris K-Dubs was going with Sam as well. Dana wrote Battel makes the most sense. She was part of the away team, so I'll take that answer. Alien style. Yep. Yeah, some good answers in the chat. All right. We're moving right along tonight. Do we want to get right to the review of the season 3 premiere that we've been waiting 2 years to do?
Do it.
Do it. Do you know that Strange New Pod has recorded over 100 episodes since our season 2 premiere episode of Strange New Worlds? I think that's a pretty incredible stat. Yeah, it's pretty wild. All right, guys, let's get into it. It is our review of the Strange New Worlds season 3 premiere, Hegemony Part 2. Our order tonight will go Eric, MC, Giraffe, followed by myself. And let's go first with the A plot, which is, and now the conclusion, which Anson Mount did a beautiful job saying. So we've already seen the beginning of this episode, but I think it's still fun to talk about because they showed this clip. Was it at Comic-Con last year, Giraffe? Yeah. Or NYCC?
I think so.
No, Comic-Con last year was the Vulcan thing.
Oh, right.
that's
Yeah, it was
right.
Vulcan, so it was NYCC.
Forgot that.
Well, because we want to forget it. No, I think it was at NYCC. They showed this clip. The episode begins with Enterprise under heavy fire from the Gorn. The away team's been captured, and Pike is asking his crew for options. You know, Pike a little bit out of his depth here. He's never been in a wartime situation or minor wartime situations. Skip the Klingon War. Eventually going with Una's plan to jam comms and retreat and rescue later on. Eventually ramming the Gorn mothership and hitting it with a torpedo dud to track it. What do we think about the cold open after nearly 2 years away, Eric?
Honestly, I didn't like and now the conclusion. I didn't want him to say that. I wanted to hear and now the continuation, because that makes it seem like this is the end of this storyline. Like, or not the storyline, but the continuation to this. It could have been a 3-parter. We don't know that, right? So knowing that this was the end sort of bummed me out. I was like, oh, but I'm also fine with not seeing any more Gorn. I thought the beginning was amazing. I love that Mitchell was the one who came up with the idea to have the dud, and I love the ramming speed because of the wharf thing. Obviously, they had a much bigger ship. Not that the Defiant is little, but
Do you know how many dirty jokes I want to do?
I know, I know. You should just
Nothing's stopping you.
just play off it. It's fine, and I'm continuing it. I'm just gonna feed it to you. It's just gonna get worse. I'm sorry,
So
Jeff.
Worf as a smaller ship, and what else?
I can't even remember what I said already.
Well, it'd be two smaller of those.
I love that the look of panic that Pike has, but as soon as he like composes himself and he just goes straight into actions, he knows his crew. He knows that they have the best options. They know how to think outside of the box in a stressful situation like this. I thought it was a great show of this team that's, they've already split up. So it's not just the main crew that we normally see on the bridge. We get to see other people pop in ideas. Like it shows that how well-oiled team that they are. It was a great beginning. It was gorgeous. Like the graphics and everything. I played this on the biggest screen I had, and it made as loud as seeing this on our laptops and computers in such low fidelity, and then finally seeing it like this was amazing. And I don't know if they've updated the graphics, but I feel like things look different than when we originally saw it in the screeners. Like it looked way better, way better.
I mean, I have to say there's a couple of things that I absolutely noticed in both episodes tonight that I didn't notice before. So they could have either done some like very last minute post things, but I mean, it was like movie quality crisp.
Yeah, no, exactly. I feel like there are also some editing differences from when we saw it. Not that it's going to matter to people, but I think there were some little bits of tweaks, and I wish we saw. I don't know if we still have the screeners, but I sort of want to look at that.
Yeah.
Also, the opening credits, a new update, very nice.
They're pretty. Jorg on like Blue Sky and Threads, if everybody knows Jorg, has just been like gushing over them. Nice update. Yeah. MC, what'd you think about this?
This is Mitchell's best episode, and it's 100%. The strong start with the dud is so good. And I really like how kind of out of his element Pike is, because usually we think of the captain as, tough and just ready for everything, but he's so distracted that, and kind of the way they film it, where they make it kind of disorienting for him and not really kind of getting what's going on. It's a wonderfully humanizing moment for him, because they do like to make the captains just absolute pinnacles of everything. But in this moment, like, this is kind of the first big war situation he's been in, because he did sit out the Klingon War. Yeah, there was some stuff in Discovery Season 2, but I don't think it was nearly to this level. And also he's dealing with all of the emotional stuff with Marie. So I really enjoyed that they actually visually showed that, because Anson Mount does a great job of playing it, but by adding in the camera to it really increases putting us into Pike.
Yeah, agreed. Giraffe?
These openings slapped so hard. Shit is going to happen when they use their cool 360 cameras, like that go like spinning. I'm like, yeah, that's the disco camera. All right, I see you. I liked it. It was very good. I think it put back the odds and what is going to happen, what happened before, very fast. Like you feel in the action right away, which is a great way to start a season or to finish a season. I don't really know at this point. Is it the end of season 2? I feel it's more the end of season 2 than the beginning of season 1. But I like that when they said, let's hit it, it was literally hit it. I was like,
yeah.
We are entering a great tradition of ship ramming other ships. And I think that every single franchise has done it. Series in Star Trek has done it at this point. But yeah, it looked gorgeous. I just was like, that is interesting that the Gorn have no way to not get jammed that easily. But I'm like, okay, a little bit of plotium to make the things a little bit more difficult. But yeah, why not? I think the start of Battle thing is in the opening, no? Also.
The start of Battel?
Yeah.
Or the maybe? I think they may have clipped it together. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that it was paired together because you have A plot, B plot, front desk, back rooms at the same time. And I like the parallel between two very different ambiance and two very different dynamics, but also very high stakes at the same time. I don't know why they didn't put the woman in a transporter, but that
bothers me so much.
Because Mbenga wasn't there to suggest.
Oh my god!
No, they could have done that, but I guess you need to keep the stakes.
Yeah.
Maybe the transporter is broken. Oh no, it's not because they beam everybody back. It's fine.
It might have been broken then. Who knows?
Who knows? Yeah.
She's allergic to transporters too.
She's allergic to transporters?
God.
I just want to say I'm loving all the Mitchell love in the chat. Yibambe, more Mitchell, please. Eric the Red, Mitchell got her moment. Jedi Cat, Mitchell really shined in this episode. Man, I am a big Mitchell stan, like one of my favorite characters in the series. So to see her get so many moments in this episode, from the torpedo to later on, also when Pike, I know this is later in the episode, but when Pike is like, go, like get relief, you need to go. She's like, I'm not going anywhere until everybody is back on this ship. And Pike like really respects that. And I love that moment so much. This opening, the graphics, the torpedo, and the fact that they stay true to this like old school sound effects with like new school additions to them. Like the torpedoes going is like an old school sound effect, like from TOS, with a little bit of like modernization to it. So it like, it really makes you feel like you're still in that era. I love that Pike is really the epitome of Pike in this episode. He's not just making decisions himself. It's always about each member of that bridge crew, and it's done so well. And another thing I'm going to say, and I'll probably say at the end of the episode, I think this is Anson's best episode on the series. If not like top 3. So
I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's keep going because I want to keep on Pike. We get a moment between him and Admiral April, who we know they're close, but seem a bit at odds here as to what to do. I'm sure there's also a bit of leftover animosity from what Una's lawyer did to April and Ad Astra per Aspera. He didn't seem too happy with Pike after that either.
He's a bigger man than that.
I think he is a bigger man than that. But I think this is more like, shit, we're about to be in another war. Because
of these motherfuckers.
Yeah, right. I think as April put it, your outlandish little skirmish with the Gorn or firefight. He's on the side of Starfleet, right? Timid after the Klingon War. Pike wants to strike like immediately, and ultimately, April does end up siding with Pike and gives him an off the book mission to find out how to punch back and show the Gorn that they're not prey. Briefly, because this is a minor scene, but I like the relationship. What did we think about this scene, Eric?
I love it. I love the interplay between Pike and April. I think the two actors are like they work together so well. Like even like when we first saw them in the first episode of the first season, you could tell that they really respect each other. And we know that April is on the side of Starfleet at the beginning, but I feel like he just had to get through that speech of him saying, this is what Starfleet wants before he's like, you know what? I'm actually with you. I obviously want us to punch them back.
He's got to toe the company line.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what it felt like. And I like that April did that first and was like, you know what? We got to show them we're not prey. I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, dude.
Nice. MC?
April is our Radmiral. He is so, I love him so much. I really respect that he does like lay out the whole, this is what Starfleet is expecting, and Pike's like, no, I'm not going to do that. And April allows him, trusts him to do it. Because these two have worked together for a very long time. It wasn't that long ago that this was April's ship. So he's probably thinking, what would I do if I were in that position? And not only was it his ship, but for those of you who haven't seen the counterclock incident from TAS, his wife was the chief medical officer. So he could probably very much put himself in Pike's shoes, because what would have happened if I were in command of the Enterprise at the time, if my wife had been, I know Pike and Battel aren't married, but if my loved one were fighting this Gorn thing. So yeah, I do think that there's a lot of trust there, and I think that this could very easily be a situation where if it had happened 10 years ago, that April would have done the exact same thing that Pike did.
Completely agree. Yeah. Giraffe?
So it's a scene I really liked, because that's the scene that made me reconsider the whole episode when I watched the episode a second time with subtitles, so I was able to understand everything. The whole question is about punching back, right? And that made me really think about like Starfleet, because that's what Michael wanted to do in Discovery, in the Battle of the Binary Star. And you know what? We end up at a binary star system. So it is interesting that Michael had a little skirmish with the Klingons, and then to avoid a war, she wanted to punch back to show them that they were not prey, right? And she was denied, and that became a full war where so many people died. And April was there. He knows what happened. He knows what Michael did. And then to stop the war, Starfleet is like, you know what? We're gonna punch back, and we're not gonna come into a genocide. We're gonna blow up the whole goddamn planet. We're not gonna do it ourselves. We're gonna get Terrans to do it, like, because like that we keep our hands clean. And Michael is the one saying, no, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna let them, and gives the the remote control to Laurel. So we went full circle in Discovery about like punching back and not being prey, right? Because they got to know the Klingon and understand what was going on with them. And then we're again in the same fucking situation. And then it's April was like, we're going to punch back and show we're not prey. And I'm like, you motherfuckers don't fucking learn anything ever. and you know what? Like, it's Uhura who finds another solution instead of punching back and, erasing a whole culture, because like Stranger was really on the fence about like explaining that the Gorn are intelligent and sentient people, but that's another conversation. And so, you know what? Punching back was a solution that they would have lost, clearly. And so they found another solution. And then there is the parallel. I know you said we're going to be short.
No, keep going. No, this is great.
And I love the parallel with what happens to Battel, because Chappelle, they find this solution being kind of like violently extracting the Gorn, but then they find an alternate solution that is less violent and that basically de-escalates the problem by making it go back to like
make them go to sleep.
Yeah, and it's the parallel between the two that, sometimes like punching back was not, maybe at the moment of the skirmish would have worked, but then it was too long gone. And then we move on all the way to Discovery, where there's the same fucking conversation about the 10 Cs, where the Federation wants to punch back. And Michael is like, we can find another
hold the fuck on,
And I'm desperate by the fact that Starfleet is not able to do the right thing ever when it comes to that, and that is always the hero who's not listened to, but then there's like always another solution. But I like that. For me, I think it was very clearly done in reference of Discovery and the Klingon one, because of the binary star system. There wouldn't be the binary stars, I would be like, maybe it's me like looking at shit,
No, I think it's great parallels.
But it's the Battle of the Binary Stars, so like very clearly that's where everybody fucking dies, and it happens again at a binary star where they manage to basically find the solution before something terrible happens. Yeah. And this whole I really true hope that they did that on purpose. I do, but this whole episode is about finding alternative solutions and finding ways to, maybe not murder your enemy right away and maybe try to find other ways toward peace. But yeah, my other solution was just let them fuck with the Romulans and see what happens. That map behind them, I was like, is that the neutral zone? Just here? I was like, I want to see what happens. I want to see what happens when the Gorn go that way. Yeah.
I want you to get a Romulan tattoo that says "fuck around and find out,"
or live, laugh, lurk, live, love, lurk.
One that says "bite me in Romulan." But yeah, I do think it's an interesting parallel for Strange New World. I like that episode because I think that it's closer to the reflection that they were in season 1, which I really liked. And I know people were like, well, when Michael says we need to punch back, like she's denied, but when Spike says she's like, I'm like, no, I don't think it's that. I think there is a little bit more of reflection here against like what Starfleet has endured through the Klingon War and what now is their position when they're being attacked.
Yeah.
It works with Klingons, not with Gorns.
Well said. Well said.
You.
Damn. I'm going to leave it at that. There's some great comments again about April. I'm so glad that April wasn't a Badmiral, Mars says, which, yeah, I mean, if they had made April a Badmiral, I would have been really sad because, yeah.
Never gonna happen.
No. And then Jim McMahon, April is the epitome of an admiral that Vance would become. Yeah, I like that. Like the kind of maybe model admiral, what to do and not what not to do as an admiral. No, I love the scene. I think they have great chemistry. Apparently, it's a little bit of a popular line when Pike says, oh, come on, Bob. I got asked to make a gift for her today, so maybe it'll make the rounds. It's, yeah. I made a gift for Rachel Amber Bloom, who is a Trek content creator. So let's keep going. Hegemony Part 2 gives us some great moments with Scotty and Pelia, which I really enjoyed. Some of them are funny and some of them are serious because Scotty has a lot of PTSD over the loss of his ship and the loss of his captain. What do we think about their chemistry in this episode and Martin Quinn's performance as Scotty so far, Eric?
So I love Simon Pegg as Scotty. Like he's been such a good Scotty for such a long time, and seeing Martin Quinn come in and just like top him with like 2 episodes is amazing. I'm so excited for this actor and where he's going to take Scotty, because even from this episode, like seeing him be so like torn up about losing his ship and his captain and everyone, like, and seeing Pelia like push him because she knows him so well, like just from being his teacher and like knowing that he tends to overthink things. Like we can see where he's going to head to when he gets to Kirk Scotty, when he becomes a Canadian. I love it. I love their play and I can't wait to see more of it. Like I hope Pelia realizes that she can't just like manipulate him the whole time. Like I hope that's not what happens. Because that did feel bad. Like she was giggling and I was like, oh dude, this guy's just like, he just went through a lot of shit, like literally like hours before. So, I felt bad, but she knew how to get him to where he needed to go. And hopefully that's what he takes away from it, and not that superiors will take advantage of him.
Yeah, absolutely. MC?
As I've said previously, Scotty is my least favorite TOS character. That being said, I fucking love Scotty in Strange New Worlds. Martin Quinn is doing such a good job, and he is the perfect, I like to call cookie dough version of Scotty. I think Uhura is the only character that I would also really call a cookie dough character, where it's like you can see where they're going to get, but they're not quite there yet. Like, because like Spock and Kirk, they're all, you can see them just easily like being the people that they are in TOS. But these are kind of the more green characters, and they need to actually evolve to that position. And I really appreciate that. And I want to bundle him up and give him soup, because he is obviously going through it. And Pelia, who I adore, is just terrible to him. And I see where she's going because it's such a TOS Scotty thing that he works fantastically under pressure. And he obviously does do it well in this episode, but like, dude, he's so hurt with everything that happened. Like, it's maybe not the best time to test Pelia, but it fits for her because she is old and immortal and insensitive.
And it does end up working, unfortunately, right? And I have to defend Pelia just the tiniest bit, because I think it's a moment where she's mainly thinking about the ship and the situation, and just like, unfortunately, I don't know if it's a good thing, but maybe forgot about what Scotty had just gone through, or maybe doesn't even fully know, because this is what, like, minutes or moments after. I don't think it excuses it, but I mean, yeah.
And she does say very clearly, you can't work when you have all the time in the world, but put a gun to your head and you work miracles, basically.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is basically the entirety of TOS.
Yes.
That guy never get to like do anything in the calm. I just want to know who the fuck broke Scotty. Is it Jim Kirk or is it Pelia?
I don't think it's either. I think it's the Enterprise. I think the Enterprise broke Scotty.
No, I think it's like the tenants of the Enterprise, and mistreating the ship broke Scotty. Like,
I mean, it's a toxic relationship between Scotty and the Enterprise.
I think Pelia starts the job and the Jim Kirks finishes it. Most probably. But there's no way.
That's fair.
No, I really liked it. I do like the work they do with the young TOS crew, you know, like Uhura and Scotty. I think it's a good way to give their character more layers when you watch TOS. So I appreciate that. Definitely, it's the how did he get there? I want to know what happened to the man. And I want to throw in here that I do think it's a Uhura episode. I know we're most probably going to talk about this, but if you rewatch the episode Under the Lens of Uhura, it's like she basically holds every single of the knots and like undo every single one of the dots of the episode. So
yeah,
I'm like,
no.
Okay,
yeah.
Uhura episode. But I love Scotty. I think it's fun. Now that I can understand Carol Kane because I have subtitles, it's so much more entertaining.
This is not a knock, because we love getting screeners. We do. Please keep sending them to us. We have to give some positive feedback. Please, Paramount, and this isn't just Paramount, every single company that sends anybody screeners, please provide subtitles if at all possible. It would be a big help.
I know that the subtitles are often the last thing they do.
Yeah.
I have to say that I watched 2 different episodes.
Yeah, right.
Between the screeners, and then what I think I understood, where I'm like, I understand what they said. Yeah. And then I read the outline sometimes, and I'm like, what was that in the episode? And then I go and I watch with the subtitles. I'm like, oh, she's allergic. Oh. I had not understand any of this. Like every time they go into technobabble, I'm like, oh.
The rest of us do that too.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, but then I don't know when they start again.
Yeah,
like
true.
In normal talk.
True.
So I'm just like, yeah.
In the chat, Colin wrote, Scotty and Pelia were my favorite part of this show. It was great. I loved their chemistry. I even loved like the fact that they touched on Scotty's PTSD. I wish they gave it a few more minutes because I think it's important.
I want to know how he lost fingers. That's another question.
Yeah, right. Are they going to do it? Are they going to like pay homage to Jimmy Doohan? I hope so.
Yeah.
There's a moment specifically that I like when Pike calls him and actually just calls Pelia up to the bridge, but Scotty comes too. And Pike keeps talking. And remember the scene in 09 where he's like, I got a towel, right? There's that little bit where he goes, sorry to interrupt, right? Like he always wants to like get a quick word in, and that like was very like 09 layered, and I really liked that a lot. There was like comedic gold.
There were a lot of like visual references to the
so much. Yeah, so many.
The empty torpedoes. Like there were so many like little things here and there. I know I noted them somewhere, but yeah.
I like that everybody has mentioned Kelvin before me today.
Yeah, hey,
We just need Scotty to say, "I like this ship. It's exciting."
it's exciting, right? Right. But Giraffe, I do have to say, I'm with you. I really, really want to see what breaks Scotty, because in the next episode, this isn't a spoiler because it aired today too. In the next episode, during Spock's not bachelor party, Sam Kirk
you have not
offers
watched
him
the second episode.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah. Spoilers. Sam Kirk offers him Saurian brandy, and he says, "Oh no, I hardly touch the stuff." Like, we know that Scotty's a raging
much of a
alcoholic
drinker.
too. I'm not much of a
Not
drinker.
even seen that scene yet. Thank you. But
Oh, sorry, Giraffe.
yeah. Don't worry. Spoils not only to everybody in the audience.
It's a minor scene. Yeah, but you like spoilers.
Yeah, I'm telling you, somebody's gonna fucking
Yeah.
break Scotty. I hope it's not some like his whole family dies bullshit. I think it's just like, the constant stress of having to save everybody. I
Right.
hope we get, if you watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Charlie Work, the episode. I want a Charlie Work episode with Scotty and the Enterprise.
That'd be great.
Oh my
Give
God.
it to me. Yeah. I asked Lower Decks to do it with Rutherford, and I never got
You
it.
never got it. Yeah.
So, Strange New World, let's go.
Let's go to the conclusion of the A plot, and this is going to be a lot, so I apologize in advance. But otherwise, we could have just kept going, so I kind of just condensed it. Una and mainly Uhura come up with an idea to trigger a CME flare to trigger Gorn hibernation before they enter the system for a long hunting cycle. I actually messed this up a little bit. They didn't quite come up with that idea yet, but they put the pieces together that they could possibly do that. But the entire Gorn fleet ends up coming out of that binary star system, right? And starts immediately going after Federation space. Pike asks Scotty to turn the Enterprise into a CME X-flare. And, Scotty immediately goes, that's a horrible idea. You can't ask stars to do much of anything. But they do it anyway. The crew's plan works, and as insane as it is and trigger the Gorn's hibernation cycle, they also rescue the entire away team and colonists. What did we think about the science of all this and Strange New World's way of not only concluding this arc but kind of explaining away the Gorn, Eric?
I do like that they've continually talked about how they use light to communicate, and like this has been a thing that Strange New World has been talking about for at least a season, right? So I like this is coming to that conclusion. Pike asking Scotty to make them into a mini sun made me laugh so much. Just to look at the Scotty's face and then be like, no, that's terrible. And then Pike saying, we'll just turn it off before we explode. Like that,
I like
that made
this
me
plan.
giggle. it made me giggle. I like how they work together. Maybe it's Pike that breaks Scotty. Like
Between Pike and Jim Kirk,
Yeah.
who do you think is going to pull the most shit?
Well, right. It's
Jim
like
Kirk.
you get the nicest captain in the fleet, and then you get Jim Kirk. It's like gotta be just like
No.
And also the Enterprise goes downhill a lot.
yeah. I'm still with MC. I really think it's the
Not
Enterprise.
even a retrofit at this point. They just broke the thing down until it looked like it was used for 10,000 years without getting cleaned.
That's the reason that Kirk didn't have Pike's quarters, because they were just broken to
gone.
all hell. Yeah,
gone.
they're gone,
blown away. I love I thought the ending was cool. I like graphically it was gorgeous. Like the music was amazing by Nami. Oh god, like seeing all the ships flying everywhere, it was so movie. I would have loved to see this in a movie theater. Let me see, what else did we talk about? The hibernation, I thought it was cool. I like that they all just sort of calmed down and then just sort of fucked off. That was cool. I thought that was a neat way that they got through this without blowing up everything, like Giraffe said. They're not always just trying to make everything explode. It's not a concluded arc, but I'm glad that this is the end of the Gorn. They're going to hibernate. I don't need any more Gorn right
Gorn, not too soon.
now. No.
It's because Alien Earth is coming on soon.
Oh God, no.
I know. I know.
It's Gorn and Borg I'm done with for a while. Just those are fine. I'm fine with not having those anymore.
Yeah, fair. MC?
So I am the pod's resident monster lover, but I've never really cared for the Gorn arc, mostly because I love Arena so much. And the Strange New Worlds version of the Gorn feel like a ripoff of Aliens, and I'm not really here for it. I do like how they do it in this episode. I like that they're putting them in hibernation, because then I can also headcanon that part of this hibernation is a chrysalis phase where they turn into like the big suit guys.
Ah, yes.
This is why I'm around for wild headcanons like
MC
this.
just explained all of it away. I love it.
But I like that it's Una and absolutely Uhura who comes up with this. It makes sense that it's them who comes up with it, especially Uhura. And it's a good way to handle it, because obviously we can't have a protracted war with the Gorn, or else it wouldn't make sense that Kirk wouldn't know anything about the Gorn. And also maybe it makes sense that the Gorn go through another phase of development, and that explains why Kirk doesn't recognize the Gorn. So
Yeah.
It's like they're like the Klingons. They don't talk about it.
yeah, but yeah, we don't want to have a huge war with them. First of all, it's a 10 episode season and it's episodic. Strange New Worlds, I don't want to say they can't handle it. They don't want to handle it.
Right.
So make it go away. And we can't destroy them all, because we know that the Gorn are still around. So this is an elegant way to do it.
Yeah, totally agree. Giraffe?
Well, I don't know why they started the whole Gorn thing without knowing where the fuck they were going. But my computer is gonna die. Oh no.
Oh God.
No. But I think they need to get themselves out of it. And let's be honest, we know that the Gorn hegemony exists in like the 32nd century, so they can't just all kill them. And yeah, as you were saying, it's an elegant way to get themselves out of it. But also, I will say it's too bad that they never actually addressed the interesting questions about the Gorn. I think it's fascinating, the start of the world building that they've done, but they've done that after having like Pike going again and again, they're monsters, they're animals, we need to murder all of them and they're young. And then they're like, well, they can't really like move them into, hey, you know, they're spacefaring and they have scientists, because there's a scientist Gorn at one point in Strange New World, if you remember well. They have all this, and then not have Pike look like an absolute idiot or, you know, a maniac that just want to genocide a whole like race. So they had to have them go away. I think that biologically, it's very interesting what they've done. I'm fascinated by the idea of a species that is their like whole, you know, life cycle is dictated by space events that are very chaotic and random. So that pushes like a lot of like flares and so on. I mean, maybe they are able to predict flares at that time, but I don't think we can predict flares right now. Don't come at my DMs. I'm not a scientist, but I think it's just biologically super interesting. And also that the baby Gorns react to the flare in direct inside of Battel.
With Battel.
So interesting. Because it makes me think of Locust. Like locust fly are like very open, like very often happen when there's a, like climatic things that come together, or like we have the red tides here in San Diego that happen also when like certain things happen at the same time. So I think it was very interesting plot point, but then they didn't do anything. Like, how do they know that it's a Gorn hegemony if they never talk to a Gorn? Like, how do they know where's the...
Yeah, and I want to talk about that.
They're like borders. If they don't know what's going on, they must have planets there. Lan tells you about it. They have whole system. And it's just like, not like, you know, they had their ass between two chairs and they couldn't choose and they did nothing with it. So they put them literally to bed. So I'm like, that's a better solution than anything else. Is that what I wanted? Not really. Are we done with the Gorn? I hope the fuck so. But another thing I would say is that I really like the organic side of their ship.
Yes.
And I thought that it was, again, too bad that it's like Sam Kirk is the only one being like, I would love to study that.
Yeah, and Ortegas mocks him for it. Yeah. Which I get a little bit. She's like, God, no fingers, but.
But like, also, like, you're in Starfleet. You're supposed to be here for like exploration and science, whatever. We know maybe it's not totally true, but
she flies the ship.
Oh my God, these pissed me off so much. I'll come to that. But I think Sam Kirk is the only one. Like, this is really interesting because there are so many applications that could be like like when they go to long-term missions, having like certain. We know that Voyager has some of the technology that is actually organic when they take the cheese to the sick bay. Because like their gel pack has some kind of organic matter that helps run the ship. So, I feel there's so many things that they're not doing with the Gorns. It made me think of the Nautiloid in Baldur's Gate, for the one that played Baldur's Gate. Like the way the ship exists in like a very organic way. I was like, oh, that's like D&D.
Yeah.
Erica Ortega's like, having again to say that she flies the ship fucking pissed me off. I was like, give something to the woman else to say than that.
We'll get to that in a bit.
Give me. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I thought
no,
you were doing
it's okay.
thing.
No. We're gonna get to that.
Sorry,
the Gorn
I am done.
No, that's okay. I do agree with you a lot because I actually think that they did a really good job with the Gorn in Memento Mori and making them seem really smart. I think they did a really good job with them in It's Not Lift Us We're Suffering. Can I? All Something Wandered, the one where Hammer dies. I think that was also well done. And I think that Hegemony Part 1 was actually well done because at the very beginning, they do show that the Gorn are communicating with Starfleet. They send them messages, and then they kind of forget that the Gorn are smart. You even see the Gorn trying to access the Cayuga's subsystems in that episode.
Yeah.
So and in this episode, you just see them raging over. I know this is where I told Giraffe that we're going to talk about this, and now I'm talking about, but all you see of them is really raging over to kill the away team. It's like, I agree with you. I would have really liked to see the smart side of the Gorn as well. Do I think this was a really cool conclusion still? Absolutely. It was fantastic. It was visually exciting. It was very well done. Before we go any further, I've been finding the right time to add this in because we got a super chat. There's no right time, so I'll just ask it because it is true. Thank you for the super chat, Rick Hernandez. Can we talk about how funny Uhura's wig looked? Listen. There was a writers and actors strike. There was a long time between filming. I think they did the best they could.
I don't think it was necessary, though. I don't know why. Like, I know Trekkies are gonna go into the weird angles of things. Like, she wouldn't have grown her hair so much. Yeah, but also who the fuck cares?
Exactly. Who the fuck cares? There's also, like, if people want to pick out like minor inconsistencies, in the very end of Hegemony Part 1, Pike's tack vest is still like shiny and new, and then all of a sudden at the beginning of this episode, it's all beat up. So like the wig, it's fine.
I didn't even notice.
You didn't notice that she has like a giant head?
I did. I know I did.
It's a helmet.
Her hair was like packed under like a wig.
I didn't
notice. I'm gonna rewatch it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know. I saw it and I was like, it's kind of dumb, but I think most people won't notice. I respect what they're doing with black hair since like Discovery, I have to say. So yeah, I don't know.
It's fine. But appreciate
wigs are also very hard.
They're very hard to do. Yeah. Thank you very much, though, Rick, for the super chat. That's awesome. We really appreciate you. Who wants to announce, before we go further with the episode, our Steelbook Strange New World Season 2 winner? Who's got the outline open? Who wants to do it?
I can do it.
Go ahead, MC.
So the winner of the Strange New World Season 2 Steelbook winner giveaway is Joe Funniest Frontier.
Hey, Joe! One of our oldest Patreon Collective members. Congrats, Joe. Good job. You rock. Yay. We are sending that out to you. That just got packed up today, so look forward to it soon. Let's get into the B plot of the episode. You could call either one of the escape from the Gorn ship or Battel stuff the B or the C plot. This is just the order I put them in. It's Battel versus the Gorn hatchlings. Just like the top of the episode, we pick off right where we left off, Battel and Chapel in sickbay. Things immediately don't go well at all for Battel, who ends up being allergic to cryo serum. Who knew that was a thing and can't be put into stasis?
You'd thought Starfleet would test them before.
Yeah, right.
But
right. Spock ultimately volunteers to help Chapel because like she's by herself down there basically. I think with like one other nurse. Yeah, that's why. To help come up with a solution to the Battel ticking time bomb. No matter what they come up with, every simulation comes up with Battel dying until Spock looks outside the box and finds a way to incorporate an Orion street drug into the treatment, as well as Una's Illyrian blood, which gives Battel a just low chance of surviving instead of no chance of surviving. What do we think about this whole sequence and try to find the right solution to Battel's Gorn hatchling problem, Eric?
The not putting her in stasis in transporter buffer made my brain just fucking explode. It made me hurt so much. And then the allergic to cryo sleep serum just made me like fucking shake my head. They're like, oh, I don't know why I didn't like it. And then Spock going down and being like, no, I'll help me because I have to do
I am
this.
a scientist.
I am going to not talk about a relationship, but I will go down and help. That's definitely why I'm going down. I don't know. They had to conclude that relationship type thing, I guess, to move it forward for the you guys
Include.
Yeah, sorry, to put it to the next step for the next episode's hijinks. I don't know. I did really like that they thought about using Una's blood. I thought that was really cool. I like that that was I like that they brought that back and that her having part of her blood is now going to be probably part of, you know, her story moving forward. Where did we stop at this?
I mean, that's fine. That's
it.
That's fine.
I'll go with that.
Yeah. MC?
I am angry that the Enterprise apparently only has one doctor and one nurse.
Well, that's why Bones comes along, right?
They're all dead.
The other shifts are sleeping. They can't be bothered right now.
Oh, bullshit.
Delta Shift? You're going to ask Delta Shift?
Delta Shift, let's go.
And also, this just came into my mind with this talk about Spock. What is Spock's actual discipline in science? Is he just an omnidisciplinary scientist?
Yes, the answer is yes. Science.
Or is it
science.
like isn't fans? I don't know. I read too many fanzines, but isn't he in computer science, or is that from the Academy, the Vulcan Academy murders?
I mean, he might be. I mean, but I don't know if it's come up on the show at all, because I know that Michael was a xenobiologist, right?
Xenoanthropologist.
Yep.
Xenoanthropologist.
Sam is a xenobiologist, I believe.
Okay, I knew somebody was, yeah. But yeah, so we have like our science people with like specific roles, but Spock can just like kind of fit in anywhere. It's just, I don't love it because the only reason it happens is so that we could have that stupid romance talk, and it's like time and place. Like Chapel was already doing like, you know, the brooding face over she's only got a day left, and it's like, let's stop for 30 minutes to talk about us not being together or being together. Come on. But I like the stuff with you trying Una's blood, but even more than that, I like that Una's blood doesn't work.
No, it does end up working.
Well, it helps a little bit, but it doesn't actually, like, the way they were first trying to apply it doesn't work, and they use it in conjunction with the like feeding the
satiating the Gorn. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're right.
It's not like Star Trek Into Darkness when they just basically inject Khan's blood into Kirk and cure death.
Nurse, hand me that tribble.
And then we forget about it forever.
So by having Una's blood, it's not a magic bullet. We can, it can work in some situations, and then we don't get situations like, well, why don't we put her in the transporter? Because that's something that we're always going to bring up because it's always there. It is a stasis chamber, and they don't use it. But this way, we're not always going to be like, well, why don't they use Una's blood? Because it might not work. So I appreciate that. And you know what? I would have no problem with Spock helping out because he is a very brilliant scientist, but I just don't like that the whole reason for it was for this bullshit romantic talk.
Yep. Gene in the chat goes, that's why, sorry, wrong comment. Where did it go? Gene. Spock's science specialty is being hot. I mean, fair. Yeah.
Has all the knowledge.
Yep. All the knowledge. Yep. Giraffe, what'd you think about this?
I mean, it's dumb shit, let's be honest. But it's like in TOS when they forget that they have transporters and they cannot go and pick up Sulu who's dying on the planet because the shuttle is down.
They only had one.
They only had one and it's down and there's no transporter. So I'm like, it's dumb shit that they do. So like, you know, it gets into the story, the core of the story of like trying to save Battel. I find it interesting because field medicine is responsible for so many like discoveries when it comes, or new techniques when it comes to surgery, or like even like, you know, how to stop tampons were invented by field medicine to stop bleeding from bullet holes.
Yeah. Yep.
So I think it's interesting that they're like in this situation where like they need to find a solution fast. Sure, there's no transporter. She's allergic to shit just because they had to wrap this in one episode. And I'm like, I'll allow it. It's dumb shit. Star Trek does dumb shit all the time. I'm going to be game for it. The conversation, I'm like, it was dumb, but also people do weird shit when they're stressed. So
that's a good point. That is a good point.
I don't know, but also they're fucking professionals. You know, they're professionals. They're in a very important like life and death. Like I don't know if somebody is passed out and I have to do CPR, and my colleague's like, "What's the relationship?" And I'm like, "Shut the fuck up."
I would have respected Chapel so much if Spock had started on the relationship bullshit.
Right?
Because of course it would be Spock, and she would have been, "Look at what I'm doing right now, Spock."
Which is every woman's reaction, by the way. And, you know, it's doing a disservice to women because then men are like, what? You know, like, you're like so high strung. I was like, no, I'm fucking doing something. I'm like literally CPRing somebody who's dying.
She's literally about to fucking hatch Gornlings. Like, come on.
Like, but yeah, whatever. I like the thinking out of the box and trying new things, and I like the whole thing is that we're gonna do the procedure, but we need to find something that keeps her alive during the procedure, and they go from that to we're actually gonna undo the problem, which I think was like a cool, like little like science thing. And I'm glad that this strange new world is doing science. What the fuck? Let's go. You know, no super serum, but actually trying to solve a problem in science. I'm here for it. This episode was very science driven, which I really liked because I've been complaining that Strange New World was so far away from science, and I wanted like some weird science back. I love that they're wearing the red uniforms from the Naked Time.
Naked Time. No, you were right. Naked Time. Naked Now is TNG.
Now is TNG, right? From the Naked Time, I love it. It's how also Spock brings a whole pandemic on the ship because somebody like rubs their nose with their finger that has no glove, and like I rewatched the episode during the pandemic and it triggered me, but I love that. I love that Spock looks ridiculous in it, especially with like his bangs like that.
They both looked so good in those, dude. I loved those suits. I loved them.
I'm like, oh my god, this is great. But yeah, I mean the premises are fucking stupid and they couldn't find anything else. And also, you know what, whatever. But I like that Chapel was doing medicine.
Yes.
Which we've seen her do once. Once.
Listen, I actually love that Spock went down because I think it is like a little bit of like a callback to TOS. Like Spock was in sickbay with Bones a lot. Like, I actually really like this. This is a great episode of Star Trek. Like, Hegemony Part 2 is really good, but holy fuck, you guys know that I've been somewhat apologetic to the whole Spock and Chapel thing. And when he goes, Christine, I groaned so fucking loud. I was like,
to be fair,
dude.
Spock didn't go down there to bone bones.
How do you know?
Not that you know of.
I don't know. That's fair.
Know that.
Who knows what they were doing?
They have
But
a much
man,
healthier relationship. That's the thing.
I groaned so hard at that. But after that, though, you're right, though, Draft. Like, it gets back to science. And I love that it's again Spock helping Chapel. Like, it is them working together, and they come up with this solution to, like we talked about already. We kind of combined all three of these questions, which is better, honestly, of satiating the Gorn, right? And feeding them before trying Una's Illyrian blood and getting out. I thought it was really cool. The everything about this, like the costuming was great, man. Those suits from Naked Time are fantastic. I really like the science. I love it.
Spock trying to also charm Chapel, being like, we can have some faith. I was like, shut the fuck up, Spock.
What is it that you say? Yeah, right. Just like, dude, come on.
Look,
come
I'm
on.
cool. I have illogical faith.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
go on.
But Rick in the chat is right. It's kind of sad that Stranger Worlds Christine is going to become someone obsessed with Spock for the next 8 years. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. Since we kind of covered all these, I wanted to talk about Pike at the end of all this when Battel does get cured. He gets a great Giraffe. You've been talking kind of all night long how this episode's really like deeply tied to Discovery. And there's a great moment that calls back to Discovery where Pike goes, okay, Dad, you win, because it's established in Discovery that Pike's father was a preacher, right? And that they didn't get along. I think a lot of that being because his dad was religious. But he decides to pray and starts an All Father right before she wakes up. What do we think about that choice to call back to that? And honestly, I said it at the top of the show, I think this is one of his best episodes, his performance overall in this episode. And Eric,
I love this scene. I thought Anson Mount was brilliant at it. Like, you could see him slow, like, he's always been so stoic, but to see him worry over Battel so much and to get to this point where he goes to faith, which we've never seen. I don't think we've ever seen him do that before on the show.
no.
Right?
There is an episode, not on Stranger World.
Yeah, in Discovery.
In Discovery, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Good episode. But I thought it was brilliantly. You could tell how much he cares for this woman or this person. And like, I love their relationship, and I love how she dotes over him a little bit too, while he's, breaking down, broken down in front of her. It's such a well acted scene. It's just, I thought it was wonderful.
Yeah, agreed. MC?
I think this was a good scene. Very funny. In the back of my head, I was thinking, wow, Gene is rolling over in his grave right now just because he would not be here for the lead on his show actually praying.
Yeah.
But I don't have a problem with that because it is something that they've established for his character. And it's obviously not something that he does a lot. And this was an important moment for him. And it was very touching. This is the moment where I'm going to say that this resolution with Battel, where there's not a resolution yet, where she's still hanging in the balance, I am so scared. So scared. Because looking at the menagerie, if Pike is so bereft by the menagerie, because I mean, yes, he gets into an accident and it does change his entire body, but I think if he had Battel, which is somebody that he obviously loves very deeply, that he would not decide to go fuck off to Talos 4 with Vina. So obviously something is going to happen to their relationship between now and then. And yes, they could just break up, but let's face it, the more likely situation is fridging her. And this could just be a very slow fridging. And I worry about that.
Fair. Yeah. Giraffe?
Yeah, I mean, I've been saying that she's giving dead wife energy since like literally the trailers. So for sure, I'm trying to remember the name of the episode in Discovery.
It's the name of the planet that they go to, right? Yeah.
They speak so much about religion in there.
I'll look it up. You keep going.
Isn't it? It's in season 2, right? It's
Like the second or third episode.
Yeah.
It's very early on because he says like he's a man of faith. He's like establishing himself
New
as
Eden.
captain.
New Eden. That's right. Yep.
Yeah,
Thank you, Jedi Cat, as well. Yep.
What was I saying? Yeah, I didn't like the scene at first because I was like, I don't know, like it's such a change of pace suddenly. And also literally when his whole fucking crew was about to die, he didn't pray, but like for his side piece, why not? I'm like, dude, priorities. I understand priorities. I have no problem with that. But then, yeah, I think you told me, you reminded me about Discovery, and it's written on New Eden also. There's a whole conversation about religion where Michael is so adamant that they're believing in things that are fake and they should be aware of this. And he's like, well, like, isn't that a little bit what religions are about? And I really like their conversation in New Eden. I think it's an interesting conversation about first contact. So I like the, again, like the link to that, a man that is not necessarily altogether removed from beliefs. Yeah. I like that in Star Trek. Definitely not the vision of Gene Roddenberry, but you know what?
Yeah, Kong said pretty safe to say the Lord's Prayer hasn't appeared in Trek before. Definitely
hey, he
not.
wanted something to do with a spaceship, so why not?
Right.
I mean, DS9 is all about like weird godlike aliens. Why not?
He's Black Space Jesus.
Black Space
Jesus. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, I like the episode, and we talked when we did our review of season 2 about like how they had a grown-up relationship, and I do like the fact that he's not taking care of her until the ship is out of danger. Like he's not pulling a Spock here. He's not like, what about my wife? He's like, no, we're gonna go down to business. We're gonna finish the thing. We're gonna get everybody out, and then I'm gonna inquire.
We did have a very nice scene where he's got the little thing on his chair.
He takes that one moment to look at her status on his chair. It's like that
but he's not
beautiful.
like,
no, I'm agreeing with you. It's a nice subtle thing. Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's a nice relationship. Definitely gonna kill her. Come on.
Maybe. We'll see. I'm not convinced. I'm still not convinced. I knew they weren't gonna fridge her in this episode, and I'm still not convinced.
Nah.
We'll see.
I smell it in the air.
I know.
They just fall apart. She becomes a great captain and Joe.
I think you could easily do that though. She's already okay. Spoilers in 3.
Oh my God!
2,
No,
1. No, you've already seen this scene. And where she says, like, Pike asked her, like, are you looking for a new starship? So, like, she wants to get back to work. Like, she is, like, independent, as she fucking should be. She is a great captain. She's got high security clearance. That could literally just be the thing that tears them apart, which would be excellent.
No, I don't want that to happen because, like, when you're a woman with a career, it's like too easy to be like, oh, well, see, you can't have love. You need to fucking choose.
Right. Fair.
I think he's cool with it. I think totally he's like, yeah, I don't want to leave my career. You don't want to, yeah, I totally like support you. But also, I think that sometimes you just grow apart.
Yeah,
and relationships just happen. Like,
and they've had issues. So
even that, like sometimes you just like, it's not what I expected, and that's not what I want to do, and I grew out of it, and it's fine. And it doesn't always have to be like something dramatic.
Yeah,
I think they like their man pain.
But it's a TV show, so they're gonna do something dumb. Like somebody's gonna cry, and it's gonna be Pike. You.
Yeah. I just have to say, I don't want to spend too much more on it because you guys brought up all excellent points. I love this scene. I love that they made this callback to Discovery because they could have ignored this part of Pike's backstory and they didn't, which I think was great writing. Davey Perez and Henry Alonso Myers did a great job on this episode. let's finally get to the C plot, which is the Great Gorn escape. La'an, Ortega, Sam, and Benga, they wake up from their digestive tubes. Let's just get that out of the way. They were being digested. Fucking cool already. Aboard the Gorn mothership. Ortegas gets the brunt of this, by the way, losing a couple of fingers. Like they haven't even been cut off. They're literally being digested. Like
Maybe that's what happened to Scotty.
Maybe that is what happened to Scotty. And they need to find a way out, which involves, of course, because it's Ortega, stealing a ship. What did we think about the escape? Erica getting the really badly like messed up before flying them out of there, where it does look like for a second she might actually die, and just the general vibe aboard the Gorn mothership. Eric,
I like the aliens / Matrix plot. It was fun. I like seeing them in the tubes. I thought that was really cool. It looked really, really gross, and like the prop department did a phenomenal job. I thought La'an having to deal with all of her PTSD in this moment was awesome. I thought she led her team out very well. I like that Sam was curious about everything. I thought that was so cool. I like that he was like, "Oh, look at this! Oh, look at this! This is cool! Look at this little shit area where we can get guns." He was like the little scientist that could on this trip. I like that Mabenga was helping La'an get through this. Like he knew that she had gone through shit, so he was the one that was helping her through it. I like that. Ortega's losing the hand, I thought was really cool. It looked really gross and awesome. Her almost dying was awesome. I like that. I like that she went through some shit, which, she'll obviously have to deal with later. I honestly thought she was going to die. Honestly, like watching it, I was like, fuck, they're going to kill someone from the crew that we have. And I think that having that moment made us realize that we can't start losing crew at this point. I think we only have 2 more seasons. So if I don't want to see Mitchell die, but maybe
again, if it's done right, like Mitchell sacrificing herself, like doing something really fucking cool with the Enterprise or something, like could be cool. But yeah, I think we are gonna lose people at some point
for sure. And if we don't start seeing that this season, I would be very surprised. What else happened? I thought the Ortega's flying the ship was cool. Like it was a cool sequence. It looked nice. The special effects were great. I like that she was passing out as she was doing it. Yeah. I don't know. It felt very Top Gun-y at that moment. Yeah, I guess that's it. It was cool. It was a fun action-y plot.
It was. It really was. MC?
I did not care for the digestive tubes. This is. I am somebody who likes disgusting body horror monster stuff. Like I do freaking love like H.R. Geiger, like the Alien movies, love this stuff. I don't love this for the Gorn. I never have with this itineration of the Gorn, because it feels very derivative and it doesn't feel in line with what has happened with the Gorn before. And we've already had bits of it previously by having the Gorn put their hatchlings into other beings, but now we're finding out that they also eat people and I guess use them as batteries for their ships too. So they're very dependent on other beings, which is very interesting. And I'm not sure how much I love that, but I don't care for it. It makes them too predatory for my taste. I would very much more like to explore the idea of the smart Gorn, and all of this seems to fly in the face of that and just makes them a scary, scary monster. That being said, what our cast members do in the chamber is great. I especially love Sam Kirk. I love that he throws up, but then he goes into science mode and he's digging through basically a shit chute to find guns. And we have La'an turning into Ripley. And the the first time I watched this, when Ortegas gets stabbed, I jumped so much. Like, I had seen the trailers so that I knew that she wasn't dead. And that was kind of disappointing. But then I was like, oh, could they have done foiler footage?
That's what. So sorry to interrupt you, because I really want to talk about this. Listen, it is no secret that Hollywood doctors trailers all the time. And we had seen them, we had covered them, we had done episodes about them. But I completely agree with you, MC. When Ortegas got stabbed, I was like, fuck, they got us. She's dead. She's done.
The lower decks. They altered the lower deck trailer.
Yeah, they've altered the lower decks trailer, right?
They changed Mariner's uniform.
Uniforms.
She was not wearing the yellow. She was wearing red on the trailer.
So no, I think it was fair to think that, and I thought the same thing. I was like, "Fuck, they fooled us. Like Ortegas is going to die in this episode."
And especially how much she was bleeding onto the because it was, and the showing Lon's face, like it was very intense. I was so worried about Ortegas, and I really enjoyed her having her heroic moment. I wish that it hadn't come back to the I'm Erica Ortegas, I fly the ship. I think that was just a little cheesy. I don't think it was necessary.
You're not alone.
I thought that what she did said that.
Yeah. And she says it. She has a better line in that after she says I fly the ship, she goes, I did good, didn't I? Right?
Yeah. That was a great line.
It's a great line. Yeah. I totally agree with you, MC. Go ahead, Draft.
I think, I liked Mbenga flying the ship because it was such a Bone flying the ship in and Beyond. I was like, yes, doctors that don't want to fly stuff. I think I would have liked the sequence better if they were indeed nobody able to operate the ship else than Ortegas. And I don't know if it's true. I think Lan could have fly the ship. Yeah,
I think so.
So, like, when you're incapacitated and you're hurting and you're not totally there because you're bleeding buckets, and you have somebody else on your crew, you need to trust your crew. Like, it's not like, I need to do it me. It's like, okay, if there's nobody else, I will do it. But, like, technically, there are people around that can fucking do it. So, I don't know. I was a bit on the fence on this. I think the stakes could have been higher if, like...
I would agree with that.
Like, indeed, nobody else could do it. And she was like, okay, I'm going to take one for the team and I'm going to fly the ship. And not a matter of honor or pride. Because I read it as a matter of pride. And also, I keep reading it as a fact that she can't do anything else and she doesn't know anything else, and like that's the whole way of existing, which we've been berated with that already. And I'm like, people are complex. She cannot be only about flying the ship, please. So yeah, I love biologists just touching everything because I know biologists and they touch everything even when they're not supposed to touch it. In Prometheus, the movie, everybody was mad at the biologist, like touching the goo. I was like, have you met a biologist? These people leak.
Of course, he shouldn't have touched the goo, though.
He took off his helmet.
But he would have anyways.
Things. Oh, Prometheus.
They would. Archaeologists leak stuff all the time. And
Mars in the chat literally wrote, Sam, let me touch everything.
Yeah, and so I like that. Again, it's a very like Star Trek back to doing science, and I really, really like that. And I've talked about the ship and all the things that's going on in the ship. I thought it was cool. I like when Star Trek does horror.
Yeah. I do too.
Often. And I think it was like good budget. The only thing I hated is the Gorn blood looked stupid when she shoots him in the neck.
Oh, it just was like
that green. I'm like, what is that, Odo? What is going on here?
Michael Kwan just brought up a great point to go along with what you're saying, Draft. Sam was Mr. Touchy in Children of the Comet too. It's tradition now.
Biologist, I'm telling you, we don't have any biologists in the chat. Like biologists, like always touch stuff. That's what they do.
I gotta say, I fucking loved everything about this. One, I have to give a massive shout out to the makeup team for this, the special effects, makeup, all of it. The Gorn, like the one Gorn that Laan shoots, is actually like a suit. It's not CG. There's some really cool behind the scenes photos going around Instagram right now. Go check them out. That is a full suit. It's fucking badass. Digestive tubes are disgusting and is one of the coolest fucking things I've seen in a long time. I loved it. I'm not going to go on about Ortegas because I completely agree with MC. I thought at that point the trailers were doctored and that they were going to kill her. It was a great scene. Like, it was just a great like horror scene, getting her, like, seeing her get stabbed like that. It was really cool. There's just like, there's so many other things that I really like about this. But I think a lot of it just comes down to the set work. You know, people complain about the AR wall sometimes. I'm assuming a lot of this was done on the AR wall, and it really looked like a full set, which I appreciate. At least in my opinion, I thought it did. Anyway, I loved everything about this. Final thoughts. Let's go in reverse. Draft. Final thoughts on Hegemony Part 2.
I like this episode. I mean, was that an episode I wanted? No. Did I want one more Gorn episode? No. Do I want the Gorn to be away? Yes. So, you know, it's a necessary evil of having one more Gorn episode. I'm glad it's over. Please do not bring them back. Let them rest with the Borg. But it was really beautifully executed. I think there was like good, like, decor and costume and all that. Like, the value of Strange New World episode is always like so extraordinary. I think everybody did a great job also in acting. There were things here and there where I was like, Star Trek is gonna be gotta be dumb at one point or another. But I was okay with it. I think it was a good suspense episode, horror episode. I'm just worried that we're going back to the same kind of weird back and forth of jumping from episode to episode that have very opposite tones. So I've just thought it. I've seen half of the second episode. So yeah, I'm gonna see, but it's definitely not an episode that's gonna give the tone of to the season. So
That's fair. Yeah,
I'm a bit disappointed on this because usually the first episode are like giving you like the tone for
that's like kind of the sacrifice with doing a 2-part conclusion. Yeah. Yep. MC.
So when I first watched this episode, Giraffe asked me for non-spoiler review of it. And what I said was, if you enjoyed part 1, you'll enjoy part 2. And that's still what I think about this. Part 1 was really good. And part 2 is a really good conclusion to that. Now, I've done 2 podcasts about Best of Both Worlds in the last couple of months. So is it that? No, it's not. I mean, I don't think anything can be. But in terms of Star Trek 2-parters, this works very well, especially in that usually the second part really does fall apart compared to the first one, the build-up. I think that they carried through with everything, and while there is stuff that annoys me, most of it, it's a satisfying conclusion while still having a few things left there. I am so glad that the Gorns are gone. And I think Pike's line in there is really setting up that nobody sees them again until Arena. And I am here for that. And so, yeah, no, I am really like that. And I know we're not talking about the other episode, but Paramount, we don't need to have 2 episode put together, especially ones that are just so diametrically opposed.
I agree with that.
Theory about this, but I'll wear it next week to
Okay. Cool.
go on this. I think
Bunnies.
I know why.
Okay. Eric.
So I watched the first episode right before watching the second one today, and it does really flow really well. Like, this could be a little mini movie. It definitely, like MC said, it finishes everything that they talk about in the first one. It's a good conclusion to the Gorn story for now until Arena comes back, because it's not coming back again. I like that we get to see La'an deal with the trauma that has been haunting her for years, and I'm really intrigued to see where she goes from this point, knowing that the Gorn probably aren't going to come back for a while. I like seeing Mitchell do her thing and be more on screen. We need more of that. Obviously the Ortega's thing bothers me. I'm glad this seems to be the end of Chapel Spock for now. At least this part of it until, we know what happens in the next episode, sort of. I'm trying to think. I thought Anson Mount's acting was phenomenal. I really liked him. I like his relationship with Battel. I like where that's headed right now. I like that it's setting up. I do think that this is going to give a little bit of the tone for this season and moving forward, because I think they're not safe. Like, this is the episode that shows that the cast isn't safe moving forward. If they actually killed Ortegas, it would have been even better. But I like. I know, but I like
Let her
that
have at least one episode.
where she doesn't have to fly the ship. Yes, I agree with that. But I think they're gonna set up some things with Battel moving forward. Like, obviously, she's not gonna be the same, I guess, because of what happens to her at the end of this episode. And I think I'm excited to see it. It made me excited to see what's gonna move forward. Like, that's what I enjoyed about it. Will it be memorable in 10 years? Maybe not.
Yeah, fair. Listen, is this best of both worlds? No, MC's right. It's not best of both worlds. Is it a really good conclusion to a two-parter? Absolutely. And I'm going to be sentimental about it because I got to watch it on a big screen in Tribeca and have a crowd. And a crowd reacting to moments always makes watching an episode like this better. And that was really fantastic. I have to say, the episode is missing, and listen, I love this episode. I think it's really good. I think it's missing one thing. It's what Eric just said. I think this episode really could have benefited from killing someone. Like, I really do. Yeah. I think it would have upped the stakes. I would have been, like, honestly, and I know it sucks to say, and some of them have plot armor, unfortunately, I would have been fine with anyone on that away team dying if it was done in a really cool way. And it was almost Ortega's, and I think it would have been dressed like, no, fuck you. I think it would have been really. Yeah, you refuse. I think a sacrifice.
In this economy, in this climate,
right.
You want me to lose a character?
I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Anyway, this is a fantastic episode. Let's get to the subspace to poll and mailbag.
Hailing frequencies open.
And who wants to take the subspace to poll?
I can do it.
I'll take.
Hit it, Eric. I heard Eric first.
He's right in there.
Hey, we asked Trek Threads what they thought about the season 3 premiere, and this is what they had to say. 60% said born to Gorn. 30% said shine like the sun. 10% said CME ya later. And 0% said, can I hibernate too?
That's good. People liked it. Yeah. Love to see it. You love to see it. Giraffe, since you gave me sad face, I'll skip MC and I'll let you do the first mailbag. Can you take Michael Kwan's mailbag, please?
Michael Kwan wrote, look, we knew there would be a stunning and amazing escape, and it was delivered. No thoughts about overall quality or comparison to seasons past. I am just enjoying being back with family.
Nice. MC, can you take Colin D's, please?
Colin D wrote, so much. The genius of writers with the science involved in the solutions. Brilliant. Spock and Chapel working like a well-oiled machine. Very gratifying to see that. The huge courage of our captured crew to carry on. And Ortega's, I fly the ship, gave me tear-filled eyes while smiling from ear to ear. And Pike kneeling to pray. Aw. Last one, seeing Martin Quinn's name in the regular cast. Yay. 10 out of 10.
Nice. It is nice seeing like a Scotty actor being in the main cast again. It's pretty cool moment. I will take NYRL lights and then we'll go down to Eric. Badass La'an overcoming her fears made it worth the wait. Watching Pelia meld Scotty, or I think it was meant to say mold Scotty into the miracle worker we come to know will be fun, but the episode does make me wonder if this means no more Gorn until TOS because they're now hibernating. Probably, right? I think it's a safe bet. Yeah, right.
They were
Eric.
slow in TOS. Yeah. They were hibernating. That's what.
Yeah, exactly. Eric, you take Dana's, please.
Dana wrote, definitely worth the 2-year wait. It was all of the adventures of TOS with the action we have come to love from Strange New Worlds. The introduction of Scotty is adorable, and I can't wait to see what they do with his character. Everyone delivered either exceptionally adorable or exceptionally awesome performances. New Trek is back. Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go. Giraffe, can you take Mars's, please?
Mars wrote, wow, I missing my weekly Star Trek? I was ready, 5 a.m., tea in hand. Okay, great. But as we were going along and tension was building and on one character or another, and that, oh my gosh, is this the end for so-and-so feeling was building. Then I'd think, no, they're going to be fine. We saw them in other bits of the trailer. So I went down the list. No one was in any real peril, either being a legacy character or in the trailer. Then the line that broke my brain. I'm Erica Ortigas. I fly the ship. I'm now that meme of the frowning man with elbows akimbo. She's got to be more than just what she does. I'm just gonna be hopeful that was the only time she will say it in this season. I'm not gonna let that one line ruin it all for me. I have some serious hope for the rest of the season.
We know she's going to say it again.
Yeah, you know she's going to say it again. You know she is. Yep. MC, take us home with K-Dubs, please.
K-Dubs wrote, from Anson's little sly grin and saying he didn't know how the Gorn conundrum would be resolved when I met him and asked in November 2023 to today, and seeing the resolution was worth the wait. Seeing the seed from Pelia of why Scotty's the miracle worker in a jam was a great touch as well. Also, good on the writers for leading us down a path that someone may die, only to yank us back after a couple of worried minutes.
Yeah. Fair, absolutely fair, because Giraffe don't want nobody to die. No,
I don't have the bandwidth for that right now. I'm very fragile.
Oh, wow. I think Mars in the chat just quoted Anakin from Revenge of the Sith or Vader. That's not true. It's impossible.
Pike says, I like the odds. And I was like, isn't that Star Wars?
Yeah.
That's Luke from Empire.
Yeah. And I was like, okay.
Oh, man. All right, friends. That's going to do it for this one. Chat, you were hopping all night long. Star Trek is back. It's awesome to have you join us this Monday. We're back right for another review. It's going to be of episode 302, Wedding Bell Blues. Same bat time, same bat place, 9:30 p.m. Eastern here on YouTube. Just so you know, next Thursday's pod is going to be pre-recorded, episode 3, which makes me sad because it's my favorite episode of the season so far. I'm going to try and record your mailbags and put them into the audio, or one of the guys or gals will do it. Stay tuned for that. Also, we're going to try and get post-pod watch-alongs going again. So join me and any of the late night crew in about 15 minutes for a watch-along on the Discord server of Hegemony Part 2. That's going to do it. We will see you on Monday. For Giraffe, for Eric, for MC, I'm Julian. Live long and prosper, Majram. And I will leave it to our favorite communications officer and have her say,
you fly safe out there.
Good night.
Thanks for beaming into our podcast today. If you want to keep the hailing frequencies open, you can subscribe on Apple and Google Podcasts, YouTube, and Spotify. Like what you hear? Put in a good word with Starfleet and leave us a 5-star review.